Hi, my name is Chris Lee, and my article is Addressing the Harms of Race-Based Kidney Function Estimation. And so, in this article, we'll be looking at kidney function tests and specifically transplants for kidneys. So, the article starts out with this organization, the Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network, which basically makes decisions on who gets transplants or not. And they look at the kidneys between black individuals and white individuals. And so what you can find is that there is a very high chance that black individuals will not get as many kidney transplants as white individuals because of the algorithms that they input. And so, although they say black individuals have better kidney function, which may seem like a benefit, it means that as an entire population, when they look into deciding who gets the kidney, oftentimes um, a statistic goes against them. And so the white individuals and other individuals are able to get those kidneys more because they need it and they're less healthy. And obviously, this is, how'd you say, bad in a way that a lot of black individuals aren't able to receive it and they're categorized as healthier. And meanwhile, some black individuals may have worse kidney functions than everyone in general. And they still look at the algorithm and see, well, since it's race based, we're going to give it to what we see and what we've seen in studies. And so they basically took a look back and said, well, we're going to try and revise this and repair any damages that we've done. And by doing this, hopefully they'll gain the trust of these road practices and traditional practices and studies that in the past have told them what to do and said, well, this is the way. But now it's proven that it's not as effective and it's not true, basically. And so, two of the outreach programs they try to do is they go to the communities and educate them on the waitlisting process. So, what happens? And it's basically they tell them, hey, we had an algorithm that basically said that you were less likely to obtain the organ than other people. And then the next one's basically how can we prevent this from happening again? And so creating those policies within and with and outside of healthcare, so communities are in the know of what goes on in these decisions. And I think really a lot of it has to do with the policy instead of the algorithms themselves, because the algorithms are based on the best studies that they have at the time, and the hospitals also have a say so that they don't get run in by the law and patients sue them. So they actually have evidence saying, well, this research says that black people have higher kidney function. Therefore, it may be a fact that you might not get an organ donation than other people. And so, really revising those models and constantly looking back at those research and saying, well, how can it affect the entire population? So, a lot of people probably might not know this, and they have to do extensive research. They often do put trust in their physicians to know the decision that they have to make, and they follow them. And so, really putting that trust back into policy and letting patients know that, well, we screwed up, so we're going to try and help out this time, and we need you to help us try and help you understand what's going on in healthcare and how we can teach you and educate you. And here, that trust can be really seen in the market justice principle, where basically you pay what you get for in healthcare. And if you don't have enough, or if you don't are legitimized in your wealth acquired, then you won't receive the best healthcare that you can possibly have. And so here, basically, that's what I said before. A lot of patients trust their physicians because, they went through all the education, they know all the procedures, so they trust that they know what decision is best for them. And one of the solutions, I think, is mobile health. And so what mobile health can do is look into these communities and populations, so Black, Asian, white, and really trace and track illnesses, diseases, and activities that they have instead of relying on research articles that have populations based on the people that participate. So oftentimes they pay them a certain amount to be in their study and it might not reflect a population 100%. There might be more white people, black people, or Asian people in a certain study than another study. And so I think this is the right direction. But before we can even implement mobile health, how can we trust that they're using this data properly? So even if we do give them the best data, they can look at us day and night. How do we know that the algorithms and the research isn't also pinning against certain populations based on biases or inaccurate correlations between people and the things they're studying? So again, I think what's important is really reevaluating the relationship between doctors, clinicians, hospitals especially, and the patient. And if healthcare is going against the quality it's trying to maintain and achieve, then it is not doing what it sought it to do in the first place. And so we have to go back to the basics before we continue to use technology, because putting biases and biased data into technology can only exacerbate and make this problem worse.